Welcome to Fabric Monday. Today I'll talk about a new feature called Eventhouse Endpoint. Let's understand what is this. The problem. Some tasks, and I illustrated these in previous videos, like real-time dashboards, maps, Activator. Some tasks are easier when done through event houses. Sometimes they can only be done through event houses. What happens with our data in the lakehouse? I illustrated in other video that we can make a shortcut. In the event house, we make a shortcut to the lakehouse. In this way, we bring the lakehouse data to the event house and we work with the event house at this point. And this happens with many features like maps, real-time dashboards, activators, and so on. In this way, the Eventhouse endpoint comes to simplify our work. It's a small addition to make our work way easier. It's an Eventhouse layer over a data storage. It doesn't matter the data storage we use, we can put an Eventhouse layer over it and access that data with the Eventhouse. It's available for lakehouses and warehouses. That's what I mean when I say it doesn't matter the storage. It doesn't matter if you are storing the data in lakehouses or warehouses. You can put an event house access over it. It automatically syncs new tables and model changes. So the new tables appear automatically in the event house endpoint. You don't need to keep creating shortcuts every time you need to handle a table through an event house. You just create the event house endpoint and you access your data through that endpoint. It's great for real-time dashboards, maps, and activators. And you can use KKL features over your data in one lake. It doesn't matter where your data is located. Lake house, warehouse, it doesn't matter. You just use the KKL features. Let's see it working. We have here in our workspace a lakehouse. Here's a lakehouse in our workspace. And we can create our event house endpoint over this lakehouse. Here it is. Create an event house endpoint. So I choose this option and it's executing. Welcome to Event House Endpoint, explaining how the Event House Endpoint works. In this way, in this Event House Endpoint, I can access the information from my lakehouse in this event house. It advises that the event house is warming up. We need to wait some moments before we can actually query our data. So the tables from the lakehouse, they appear as shortcuts. It's no different than if I had created the shortcuts manually, but now I have an actual event house endpoint pointing to my lakehouse. If I open one of the shortcuts, I can see the synchronization state of the shortcut. There is a synchronizing state between each shortcut and the source information. When we talk about synchronization state, we are talking mostly about cache. Event House has many layers of cache. That's what it does in relation to the shortcuts. You can notice here, the caching policy is unlimited. Let's create a query to show 100 records, for example. The query becomes external table, dimension customers, take 100. The message is still saying to me that one of 5 one-lake shortcuts are currently syncing. One of the shortcuts is still in syncing state. I would bet is related to the fact save. Is one of the biggest tables. Is still in syncing process, especially in relation to the cache to the event house. Okay, that's usual, not a big deal. So we are seeing how we can create an event house endpoint, use the event house endpoint to query using KKL our tables in the lakehouse. What happens if something changes in the lakehouse? I have the lakehouse open here. Let's imagine that a new table appears. I will get this set of the dimension date and I will load 2 tables to a new table, dimension date. The file type is parquet and load. I'm creating a new table in the lakehouse, a table dimension date in the lakehouse. Let's see how the Eventhouse endpoint behaves. Let's take a look on the Eventhouse endpoint. We don't even need a refresh on the shortcuts. The table already appears here. It takes a few moments and here it is, appearing, dimension date appearing in the Eventhouse endpoint. All OneLake shortcuts are synchronized. This means their cache are synchronized with the Eventhouse endpoint. If I go back to the workspace, I can see my lakehouse, the SQL Analytics endpoint, and linked to my lakehouse, an Eventhouse and a KQL database is created, and they make this link with the information located in the lakehouse. In this way, using the Eventhouse endpoint, we can access our information in the original way, like using lakehouse or warehouse, and with an Eventhouse as well. This highlights how the information is located in one lake, and the one lake is important, and we can process the information in many different ways. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next week.